Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got lots of exciting news. We're going to be featuring British Champion Days racing in the current affairs slot, and then we're going to be chatting to Graham Hawkins with the Pink Drive team. Big race meeting on Friday night.
Yeah, very good. I'm pleased he's coming through. It's a great cause.
Yeah, Pink Drive.
Yeah, fantastic.
Got to be wonderful for racing. I'm sorry they don't have pink like we used to have, but pink breeches, pink colours, pink everything.
Aren't they wearing something pink? The jocks
pink breeches, I think they wear. But they don't have the pink colours like we had once.
Yes.
Because there was a huge shenanigans. You're not allowed to have pink colours or something. It's just...
You're not allowed to have, what about Neil Loudon? What about Eric Loudon? Eric Loudon, all pink.
Makes the jockeys look so naff.
Don't worry about that.
How about Liverpool? Are those naffs?
Yeah, Liverpool, phones are off in Manchester. Manchester United phones are off today.
Yeah.
Liverpool phones are off today.
All down.
Liverpool came into town with a good record. They got thumped. Should have been 6-7. Manchester United, after a week of parking, the bus got shown that it doesn't always work. Luckily, they played all those bun and cokes earlier, got themselves high up the log. But Mourinho is going to be moaning even more. Yeah. I thought Chelsea were very lucky to win. Very lucky to win. I thought Arsenal, your team, for once you can put the TV on at Pride. Your team played well.
No, they did play well, but
they're a good team, James. They're a good team. And they got the full team together.
Yeah.
Ozil scoring with his head, things like that. Man City, just keep rolling on. Quality, class. Must be hot favourites to win it. Spurs would be second favourite now.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Man United, fourth favourite and third favourite. With Arsenal, if they can win a few more games, Arsenal will get back into the
What about Liverpool? Where are they going to feature?
They're gone.
And Everton.
Have you seen a caption?
No.
Of only fools and horses, Del Boy rolling with laughter underneath it. They said it was going to be Liverpool's year. Who's the back five for Liverpool? I don't know.
Coco Bongo.
Mickey
Fuzzy,
Mouse, Minnie and Pluto.
Yeah.
Hell of a back five they got.
Yeah. The first goal that the guy...
The keeper, stay on his line.
Yeah.
Stay on his line. But the keeper comes out like he's going to miss a sandwich. I couldn't... the back four got split every time. No, they are bad.
You and Budgie on onside, did you see this coming? How was your tipping?
We were close on most of them, but Budge thought Liverpool, because of their record in the last 5 years of Spurs, and we're stumbling a bit at Wembley, that it could be a draw. But no, Budge got that one wrong. No. And I thought he might be right. Tough game.
Yeah. You didn't want to be too confident because there's nothing worse than actually getting a draw with Liverpool.
But I remember one of the greatest footballers that I've ever played with called Lawrence Chillen.
Yeah.
Chile, legendary Chile. He made a comment last year. I think it's Harry Kane's overrated. I'm going to make him eat those words. He's the best player. He's the best striker. But Budge was saying.
You see, the trouble is that when you were very good at something, you don't see anyone else as very good. He had the best left foot in the business.
Best body speed. He had everything. He was great. Yeah. Budge asked me a question. Which three players do you think, if three, from the whole British League, could get into a side like Real Madrid's?
Yeah.
I thought De Gea.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And maybe Walker, because they need a right back. But not many players play in the British League.
I think De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world, and that's what will keep Manchester United afloat, because he is just unbelievable. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who's got in front of him, and he has got Coco and Bongo and whatever in front of him. Yeah. And they really Mourinho. I'd love to see his face, but they didn't show him very much on television.
He spoke quite well. To his credit,
he's
intelligent.
He's actually not bad.
Yeah,
but everything. I read a fascinating article in the paper on Saturday in the Independent about everything he says is measured. Okay, and they say he's measuring himself up to take the PSG job. There's no doubt.
Could well be. He's got a great record everywhere he's been.
Yeah, he's not signing a new contract, and it's PSG. They've got the best young players, and this and that.
He proved it with Porto.
Money's his god. I'm telling you.
There's a street in Portugal named after him now.
Yeah.
Mourinho. Yeah.
And Lane. Yeah.
No,
and if you go in there, you're going to burst into tears.
How was horse racing this week?
Horse racing this week was fantastic. We
saw some good horses.
Yeah, but more importantly, did you see the Sharks give those Oaks from the North a proper clap?
Yeah, and now the mountain men, what are they?
Mountain goats.
Mountain goats, they're coming up.
They're coming up. They're going to get another clap, those mountain goats.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Can you imagine Dupree? He's got all boys in all sides. Every side he's got boys in.
You've got to be proud of those guys. They're great players. But Jim, the final will be great, and Sergio Garcia won the golf, which was fantastic.
Yeah, well, it was his course, isn't it? Valderrama.
Yeah. And James, just before we talk horses, what did you make of the horse winning by 21 1/4 lengths?
Well, it brought me back to my young days as training, when I used to see these horses winning by 21 1/4 lengths, and I used to scratch my head in amazement.
This was just an amazing outcome, because the horse took control of everything. You don't ask who rode the horse, who sat on its back. And this apprentice admitted he let it go. And he said to me when I interviewed him, I squeezed it at the 1,000. I would have thought, give it a breather. It went clear. Even the commentator kept reiterating of how far in front it was. And a lot of people text me off and say, what were the rest of the jockeys doing?
I've seen this little story before, and all I would like to say, okay, let's see this horse follow up, because he's obviously a champion. He's obviously very good. I want to see where he runs next time.
They're planning to go. There's a staying race in Gauteng.
Yeah, I want to see where he runs.
You got the front.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting, because the way he won, he'll be winning a lot of staying races. That was. He made mine look like an old hack, and I fancied it. I thought,
I thought you'd run well too.
I'm going to look in the form book. Mine's going to say third, 23.5 lengths behind the winner. Are you having a joke? This horse has never run further back than 7 or 8 lengths behind. Against the best, he's running the Woolhavington and this and that and the other. Now he's going to have 23.5 lengths behind his name. Well,
run, run.
I must say, good luck to you boys. I hope it goes and wins every big race, because the way it won yesterday, it damn well should be. Okay, let's move on and go and see 3 to follow. Right, well, we're going to the Vaal, and we're going to go and have a look at the inside track on the 19th of October. And this was race 2. Jeff Woodruff's got a Vaal filly out of Fair Rosalind. Now, Fair Rosalind was owned by the owner.
That's brilliant. Jeez, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was owned by the owner.
Was owned by the owner of this filly Shippers that we're going to go and have a look at. So the dam was owned by Jeff van Leer, who now owns this. So he bred it, basically.
So
that's what I'm trying to say. But I was just trying to salve you into it. Yeah.
Shippers. He's got the screaming
This is what
shippers.
I've got to deal with. It's not easy. But anyway, you people out there, I feel sorry for you. Anyway, Shippers is its name. I don't know who Shippers is, but you know who Shippers is.
Maybe it's short for I've got the screaming Shippers.
Daphne Shippers, I think is her name.
Okay.
And she's the best female 1,000 and 1,200 meter runner in the world. She's a Dutch girl from Netherlands. Okay.
Is she
and
the
she
Usain Bolt for the woman?
as well. Yeah, she's a blonde girl, and this is called Shippers. And I think that's where it came from. Fair Rosalind's the dam.
Okay.
Let's go and watch this. It runs a cracker.
Yeah, you can see it drawn 1 here, and as James said, debut. It comes out the gate pretty well. It's ridden by what's his name, Dadamazi. I think he's quite a successful rider, and the paces on early. And this horse gets at the race. Shippers, I think it runs a cracking debut. Illa Devar's up there, Starina's shown place, Skycat, and they're showing a bit of speed. The winner is called Rajasthani Queen, who is in behind them. If you ever look now, it's completely on the left of the green cap. It drops off them. It comes between horses for its run. But there's Shippers with a white cap actually going up to lead here, James.
Yeah, she looked like she's got this race cold. And then Rajasthani Cream, which you had to back, You had to back Rajasthani Cream because it was Diwali.
Oh, yes, how green
Happy
is my
Diwali to all our
Diwali.
Diwali viewers. And Rajasthani Queen came now with Mabaya on it.
Yes.
And look, these work riders, they ride damn well.
Yeah, they're very good.
They're a credit to James Marie. And that goes sailing past Shippers, goes at 3/4 of the link up. And here Shippers comes back again.
Very good debut.
Gets a feel of what it's all about. Should be able to win some races. Very nice big Vaal filly.
Yes.
As I said, bred by our man Jeffrey van Leer. Right, we're going to move on and have a look at the next one. We go to Turfentine, and we couldn't leave the Australians out because we're hoping that they'll be on our show from now on because they're great supporters of ours and we support them. Let's go and have a look at Al Shibar, Mike de Kock's horse winning. This is a very, very nice horse.
This is a smart runner. You can see it in the colours here. Half a length slow, but soon gets into a beautiful position with Callum Murray. Bear in mind, James, this is by Street Colour out of a reduced choice mare. This is pedigree to die for. When you know Street Cross, Winks, Zenyatta, and Callum Murray's a very polished rider today. He really sits beautifully on horses and he gets them to run at the right time. He knows when to pull his stick. But the speed is on. White Winter gets up there. Happy Matador's pulling to get into the race. Royal Resolution. These horses all making ground. But there's only going to be one winner when they straighten up, and it's a horse called El Shabar. Michael de Cox, the trainer. This is a horse I urge you to follow.
Well, yes, because White Winter's in front now, and White Winter actually has got very good form. She's been there or thereabouts all 4 of her starts. She looks like she's a runner. She's obviously got some ability. This goes past and gives it a cold. It goes so fast. Yeah, moves into second now and just quickens up like a really, really nice horse.
As I say, James, pedigree will out. And he gives it a left-handed smack or two in the stride, and it knows what it has to do.
Yeah, and here it stumbles, it like takes a bad step there, and he changes the stick, but
yes, there it is, changes the
and you see that just actually goes on to win very, very easily. Might be quite a nice horse. We don't know the strength of Mike de Cox horses because you've got all these horses that keep coming out and winning and winning and winning, but just you look at the actions, look at the horse, look at the way they're bred. This could be a very nice horse indeed. Now we go back to our friend Roy, and he's got a Stingray running. Okay, this was at Greyville on the turf, and Sunday.
Yeah,
let's go and have a look.
This is by Charge Forward. This is the Australian horse by Charge Forward for Roy. And it's trained by Lazarne Forbes, and Tristan Godden rides it. Now, I looked at this race, and unfortunately there was respiratory noises from Flamenco Dancer, who doesn't get beat far back.
She's had a throw top there. That's what Dennis told me.
Dennis said he probably should have come down shorter and not gone the mile. The winner is a horse called Cosima. But have a look at this debut from Roy Stingray.
It's towards the back now. Really, it's about 3/4 of the way back in the orange cap, which is Roy's colours. Now it's climbing all over them, and he looks right, looks left, the jockey on to see if he can get it in, and now he's 5 from the back. But Cosima's on the outside. I think Sherman rode that, and he rode a double on the day. He rode very well.
Sherman Brown and latterly Gunther have done brilliantly.
Gunther Frogman.
Sorry, Gunther Frogman has done brilliantly. These two guys, and Sherman and him are coming to town, and you've got to put them in everything.
They go right against a lot of apprentices here, and Marcus and Delpeche. And let me tell you, they're good riders. Here it is, 4 from the back with the orange cap. Got a lot of ground to make up. The winner comes on the right-hand side of you, so 3 off the right-hand side of the screen in the dark colours. And this filly runs on really, really nicely. Hands right at the stage.
Sweet Treat's clear. She doesn't know what she's doing. The winner's coming up with Sherman. And look at this filly weaving her way through. I thought this was a really good run for a horse who doesn't know what's going on. And debuting like this, be with this horse next time. Roy's Stingray.
Quite a good stallion in Australia. Normally a sprinting stallion. They normally sprint these horses, but he's had a couple of real good ones. And this might be one worth having a close look at in the future.
Yeah.
Out of a good mare, Mythical Play.
That's right.
I think that she would David Payne?
No, Mythical Play was overseas.
Mythical Play, yeah. She's a defensive play mare. That's absolutely right. Yeah. There was one here with owned by Saltzman, but it's not the same one. It was New Zealand filly. Right, this shouldn't happen. Let's see what have we got this week.
Não vai funcionar. Ó.
Ficou? Não, pega o arreio lá, põe o arreio. Sai, ele tá acostumado. Não machucou não. Jaya.
horses with no heads shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's it doesn't matter who you are. You know, if you're a hick from Nebraska, doesn't matter. You shouldn't be riding a horse with no head. Yes. Anyway, so you can watch a full unabridged version on Gold Circle's YouTube site. That's where they put up Winning Ways, and we're going to see the plum.
Kick coming to the 300 clear by 2. Fiorella's now got dead aim on her in second, but still got those 2 lengths to make up. Hashtag Yellow still in front. Fiorella's trying her utmost down the centre, but Hashtag Yellow still by a length and a half. Roy's Riviera on the outside, and Fiorella's running late. Hashtag Yellow with the wow factor wins it. Fiorella second, Roy's Riviera third, Awesomeness ran fourth.
Well, we've spoken about this filly. She was easy to back early on. We said follow her until she gets beaten, this filly. Last time we had put her on 3 to follow. You remember she won so well at Scottsville. Yeah. And here you could have got 7 to 2 on Interbet. And at the death, she was back 10. At the death, 22 to 10, 5 to 2, as much as you like. Really well worth having a bet on.
Beautifully bred filly.
Beautifully bred
nice
filly.
Bruce and Tina have bought it because they wanted the blood, and they've got a good horse. They're going to meet with the trainer, Dean, but they're possibly not going to go to Cape Town. But she's very good.
But it wouldn't go to Cape Town.
Well, they want to look at maybe a feature or two in Joburg and then have the season when she's matured out.
Yeah. Okay, so they go rather going to. But this filly's top class.
Group filly.
She's a proper group filly. Yeah. She's got the pedigree and she's got the look. She's a big, rangy, beautiful filly. Delpeche did the right thing, let her stride along, and the going was a bit fast. She won very, very well.
Right.
Let's go and take a break, and we will be back after this with current affairs.
Hi, my name is Gregory Blank. I'm an ex-stockbroker and involved in private equity and stock markets. But my passion for the last 40 years has been horse racing. I initially started off as an owner. We then got into breeding and then into trading. And obviously by default became a punter. The most exciting part, apart from getting as a winner, is having a winning bet at the same time. Obviously that's not always easy, but with the help of Interbet and their transparent information, it makes trading and betting a lot easier. I've had over 38 Group 1 winners and continue to try to strive for that thrill of having a winner. The thrill of owning a horse and winning a race is indescribable. But if they're serious about it and serious about punting, is to get a leg in and really follow Interbet to the max. It's the only way they can be ahead of the game.
Right, well, we're going to have a look at current affairs, where we're going to feature predominantly Quipco meeting, British Champions Day, and what a day it was. We'll show you all the Group 1 races, and we'll chat about them after the sting.
Hi and welcome to another edition of Current Affairs, and as James alluded to, we're going to be talking about Ascot, the big day, the Quipco Champions Day, where some top horses came out and they really had good Group 1 races. Not a good day for Godolphin, a very good day for the main team, Dettori and Gosden. And James, lovely to see these top horses.
Oh, what a day's racing. Absolutely fantastic. Beautifully presented.
Yes.
And we got to see what we needed to see, which was fantastic. And some really worthy winners. I thought that in the main, the right horses won.
Yeah. James, interesting, the RTV figures. 800,000 people switched over for those 3-4 hours to watch it. So racing's still very strong there. Their figures are very good. Turnovers were good.
Very good. Everything seems to be going along. A couple of guys that didn't have a very good day. James Doyle got a 7-day ban.
That's right. James Doyle got 7-day. You know, he had horses that didn't fire. Godolphin had horses, and the likes of Barney Roy, who Hannon had told them won't handle the ground, but they ran it. But they did win champion owners.
Yeah.
Godolphin won champion owners. And then De Souza champion jockey, you said.
Yeah, Sylvester De Souza got crowned the champion. He's
SDS.
155 winners. He's like 40 in front of the next Jim Crowley, who was last year's champion. De Souza won in 2015.
That's right.
Sylvester.
They're good riders.
Very good
riders.
Very, very good riders.
What is the first one we're going to watch, James?
We're going to go and watch the Sprint Stakes. It's a Group 1, and it's 6 furlongs, 1,200 metres. The ground was soft, as we know. But watch this win, the Brisa Breeze. We will give you the story afterwards. We're picking them all up from the 800-metre mark.
Sprint Stakes, but pursued now by Harry Angel, and further left is Alphabet. On the right, Intelligence Cross, and now Caravaggio on the right in the dark blue jacket being asked to go get them as Harry Angel kicks for home as they race on towards the final furlong and a half. Harry Angel, Tasleek now challenging, blue and white colours on the far side, and the grey Labrisa Breeze, and Harry Angel is vulnerable. Tasleek charging, here's Labrisa Breeze on the near side, loves the ground, loves Ascot, takes it up, Labrisa Breeze and Tasleek, these two battling on together, and Robert Winston on the game grey. Labrisa Breeze wins. Tasleek second, tight for third between old rivals Caravaggio and Harry Angel. The Tin Man Brando, followed by Don Juan Troy Humphrey.
Yeah, very good sprinting field. I thought Harry's Angel would be very hard to beat again. He had one in the soft last time out, but before that they'd always said he's not his preferred ground, and he was the first one of the Dolphins to go missing. Caravaggio, I think, got up for third, O'Brien's. But when a horse loves the track and loves conditions, as this winner did.
He's won 3 at Ascot, so he loves Ascot. And the guy trains a guy called Dean Ivory, middle-aged, and Robert Winston rode it. So it was a big one for the small guys, you know, and really won very, very well. But I must say, just thinking of Caravaggio and Harry's Angel, they've met a number of times this year, and they've finished in front of each other a number of times.
They've danced a few dances.
Yeah.
James, the winner's by Mount Nelson.
Yes.
Who's by Rocket Gibraltar.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the stallion. Must be a good stallion.
Rocket Gibraltar is now starting to produce as a broodmare sire and as a
prepotent sire. Yeah.
But Mount Nelson's not a very fashionable sire, but geez, a nice grey horse. So I was very impressed with the way it won.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to have a look at the Champion Fillies and Mares Group 1. And you get Hydrangea has been running against Rhododendron, and they've been running around with each other. And I can tell you, this filly, Hydrangea, deserved to win this. I just wanted to say that watch the 4th horse, the Juliet Rose, which is the Marcus Eustace colours.
Oh,
and
good.
Obviously a very, very good filly, trained by Nicholas Clement.
Hydrangea's the one, is she going off to stud now?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her Group 1 win and she's going off to stud.
And just talking about Marcus, Nicholas Clement, I think is Christophe's son. I think this guy might have worked for Mike de Kock at one stage.
Yeah, he's been out here. He's got to be Mark's age. Yeah. You know, he's been out here. Roy, who works for me, knows him very well.
Nicholas,
Yeah, they were all in America together. When we started off training in America, he was there. Bill Mitchell, this guy.
What does Indian Charlie call Christophe Clement?
I don't know.
The Puerto Rican Frenchman.
Yeah, he comes out here. He came out to the CTSL.
Yeah.
He seems a very nice guy.
Well, he ran 4th in this Group 1. Let's go and have a look at it.
Second, the Juliet Rose. Journey still powering along in third place. Hydrangea is pushed up on the outside. Will she stay? Will she bloom? Or will she wilt as they head to the home straight? Behind these left hand on the inside, Batil is now pulled out, and out wide is Coronet. Hydrangea coming through to challenge Journey and the Juliet Rose, and Hydrangea took it up, but Batil is hard on her case now, unleashed by Pierre Charles Boudot. Hydrangea and Batil, they come close together, they touched, and Hydrangea is finding more in the hands of Ryan Moore. It's from the far side, Hydrangea. Batil is half a length down. Coronet running on in third, and Hydrangea, she's getting the trip marvellously well, and Hydrangea sees it out to win the fillies and mares. From in second, Batil, Coronet running on in third, and back in fourth, the Juliet Rose.
Yeah, a cracking good run, and also a very good run, as James said, by Marcus Justus, horse in fourth. But Hydrangea, this makes it 25 for Aidan O'Brien.
Yeah,
he's tied Bobby Frankel.
Tied with Frankel for the most Group 1s in a season.
Yeah, and James, 18 for Ryan Moore, Group 1s. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a good record. James, tough filly, Galileo.
Yeah, Galileo. Gee, he's been a good stallion.
Yeah,
he produces
sure.
them. When they get a bit of a trip,
yeah,
Galileo comes to the fore. He is fantastic. Yeah. And there's lots of these races in Europe.
Yeah.
South Africa, a bit sharp for him.
Yeah, a bit sharp, Australia, very sharp for him.
Very sharp
Very
for
sharp
him,
in Australia.
He wouldn't have made it in the top 20
we got a few out of there, Igugu and the likes of those,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jim, next one.
Next one, we go to the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. It's a Group 1, and there were 15 runners. They go a mile in the soft going, and this was the beginning of it for John Gosden, because he showed masterclass on Saturday. He was the trainer of the week, and he was placed in just about every single one of these big races, and this was the first of his big Group 1s. Let's go and have a look at Persuasive. Frankie Dettori, our old mate, getting this one out.
Churchill over there with Sir John Lavery, Alwu Kaia in the Silver Silks in that left-hand group. Sea of Grace is tracking them as well from Zonderland over there. Here comes Wen and Breton Rock. Meanwhile, Toscanini is tracked by Ribchester. Ribchester's now pulled out for a challenge. Nathra with a chance as well. It's beginning to unfold, and an open race, and Ribchester probably just about strikes the front under William Buick. Churchill coming through with Nathra. Out wide, Lightning Spear. They're inside the final two. Ribchester is the leader by a length to Lightning Spear. Nathra, Churchill on the far rail. The grey Persuasive running on steadily. Ribchester's leaning across to the far rail. Churchill on the rail, but Persuasive is finishing best, and the filly takes it up. She goes sweeping on by Ribchester. It's Persuasive, and Frankie Dettori in the Cheveley Park colours goes 2 lengths clear, striding up to the line to win the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. Ribchester second, Churchill third, and Nathra in fourth.
Yeah, Persuasive then has taken it.
Well, we spoke the other day, James, about the stallion Dark Angel, and this was another great performance, another top filly in the yard of John Gosden.
Absolutely brilliant win. And how John Gosden's prepped all these horses and put them all in the right places. We'll talk about that just now. But this filly was made for this race. They took on Ribchester. Everyone said they got no chance. Frankie at his best. You must see him tracking them. He's just tracking, waiting, and waits his turn, pulls it out. He knows he's got the turn of foot, and he bounces on them. And
Ribchester ran well, James.
Ran a great race, you know. And Churchill ran a great race up the inside. I think it was a cracking good field and top horses. But a very good win. It was a day for the Greys, because that other filly won, the other horse, the Breeze won, which was a Grey as well. But then obviously, you know, the big one of the day was the Champions Stakes, which saw the best they can put together, except for Enable. Gosden had said to Anthony Oppenheimer, we're not taking on Enable in the Arc, we're going for the Champions Stakes. With Cracksman, the Frankel, that Anthony Oppenheimer owns, and watch this.
He is well poised here on Cracksman as they pass the 3 furlong marker, and now entering the home straight, and Cracksman is given the office and allowed to use his giant stride, chased by Poet's Word. Highland Reel on the outside, Success Days, Bramato is running on. Cracksman the one to catch in the champion. 2 lengths, 3 lengths clear of Poet's Word. Recoletos is staying on well, but Cracksman looks relentless here. Cracksman opening up 4-5 lengths lengths clear as they race up towards the line. Cracksman going further away from the field in the style of the mighty Frankham, and here is a champion. Cracksman wins the champion in fantastic style. Poet's Word on the far side second, just ahead of Highland Reel, and Recoletos back in fourth.
Well, what a performance, and this is, I believe, the first Frankel Group 1 winner in Europe. And in Japan, I think they've stepped out one, but Cracksman James, wow, this one easily.
It was fantastic. Fantastic to watch a plan come together, especially because Anthony Oppenheimer is a friend of ours. And,
yes.
you know, it was just wonderful to watch us. Gosden prepped this horse for this race. Frankie put him in the right place, and he absolutely murdered them. And it was a very, very good field. They brought the best from Europe.
Yes.
They brought the best from England. The second horse, Poet's Word, he's always there or thereabouts. He's won a big group race this year already. So to see a Frankel win with his first crop of Group 1, you know, everyone, there's a lot of people there that doubt Frankel and this and that and the other. But the way this horse won, and he's just been so progressive, he's just improved, he just looks better. He's just come along the right way.
Absolutely.
And what a way to finish, you know.
We've had a few graduates, haven't we, James?
We've got a couple of graduates. Let's have a look at our graduates from Magic Millions.
Okay.
Well,
we know a little about these, James.
Yeah, well, I purchased the top two.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't purchase the first one. It was purchased for me. But the second one I purchased, and you purchased at the same sale. Sir Frenchie.
So that's right. Yeah, so they've done well.
Pretty
and
good.
Bring Me More as well, added to the list. So a good week for the Magic Millions graduates. They really are stepping out. We will give you the details of that sale from last week.
Very, very good horses we can get off them. And we'll find out about the sale from last week. A couple of our mates were there, apparently.
Yeah.
So
we'll
that's good. We'll find out exactly what was going on. Summing up, Quipco Champions Day was a raging success.
Did you see, just touching on it, the next day, Aidan Brown put his son on. And he won, it was a Kenya?
Kenya won a Group 3. It's 8 days later. It won his maiden 8 days ago, and it won a Group 3, which I think he's won 8 times. But he put on Donica O'Brien.
Right.
And this looks like it might be the big horse for next year. Have a very good look at Kenya. Another one that could be a Galileo as well. Could be really, really good. We just got to tell you, you know what's coming up. 2 weeks' time, Breeders' Cup. So we can watch a Curry Cup on the weekend and have uninterrupted, and obviously racing, because that's what we watch, racing, and we watch a bit of, sometimes we watch Spurs and Arsenal, but, you know, we got a great 2 weeks build up to the Breeders' Cup, and next week we'll bring you all the build up about how it's going with the Breeders' Cup and who's going to attend and who's going to be there. It's at Del Mar this year, San Diego.
I worked there 2 seasons.
Yeah. It's the most wonderful race
where the
course.
Surf meets the turf. It's fantastic.
I love the place. It's just fantastic.
So Denman will be calling then, because he still calls out of
Denman will be there.
So I know his little commentary booth well. In those days, he used to have his vinyl records in the booth. So
he's probably still got them.
Yeah, and he would put the record on and play in between races with the speakers off, so someone could hear. And he listened to Stones. Stones.
Oh, the Stones.
Stones Mad. I remember I went up there one day after the last race, and I was visiting with Paul Gadsby, and I had looked out and I sat back, and there's a little switch to turn on and off for commentary. Now the people were streaming out. The meeting was over, and I bumped it on. And I was saying to Trevor, I said, Trev, where are we going jawling tonight? Are we going to have a few dops? And they're real South African slang. Suddenly the phone rang. Security said, there's 2 strange aliens in your commentary box. Paul Gadsby was downstairs. He said, I know those voices. It's Laffin Denman. And he said, no, Trevor said, no, it's Trevor Denman here. There's no one here. He put the phone down up. He said, you sat on the switch. That's at Del Mar.
Well, there we go. We're going to have the Pink Drive ladies and Graham Hawkins.
Graham Hawkins,
we're going to take a break, and they'll be back with your call. Well, Greyville has a few meetings that you love to come to, and one of them is the Pink Drive Day, because it's for a fantastic cause. They do a wonderful operation, and Graham Hawkins is in charge of marketing here. He's going to be talking to the Pink Drive ladies and let you know exactly what it's all about. But Friday evening should be here at Greyville for the Pink Drive meeting.
Whoever said winning isn't everything never had to fight cancer. South Africa's sporting community has embraced the challenge, and once again, the sport of horse racing adds its voice. On Friday night, 27th October, Greyville Racecourse goes pink in support of breast cancer awareness. All funds raised will go towards building Pink Drive's mobile mammogram and educational units. When you're helping to fight cancer, winning is everything. The Pink Drive Race Meeting, Friday night, 27 October.
Thanks to Paul and James and the Winning Ways team for the opportunity to promote this Friday night at Greyville, where we go in support of charity. We go racing in support of charity. It is the annual Pink Drive Charity Race Meeting. All of the jockeys throughout the evening will be wearing pink breeches in support of the October Cancer Awareness Month. And joining me in the studio is Pink Drive's KZN Administrator Janice. Thank you very much for coming into the studio. We've got another exciting evening planned. But before we get to that, you yourself are a cancer survivor. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, I've had 3 different types of cancer actually. It started off with backache, and we found out that I had a golf ball size tumour on my coccyx bone growing up my spine, which spread to my lungs. So I had to have chemo and operations and that type of thing. And I was cleared, and then 13 years later I found a lump in my breast and I had breast cancer. So I had to go through all of that all over again with chemo and radiation. And it was very hard actually. My heart stopped at one stage. And during this time my husband was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is bone marrow cancer. I was with him from the age of 16, but sadly he passed away 7 months later. So it was very difficult time. But not one to sit in a corner and mope, I decided to devote my life to charity. I started by handing out ribbons in a shopping mall, and I did my first volunteer job for Pink Drive at the Comrades and made myself needed in Durban, and today I am the KZN Administrator. It's a job I'm very passionate about. I love it.
So how long have you been associated formally with Pink Drive?
From 2011.
So it's been quite a long journey. We know about all the modern technology and medical advances that have made cancer recovery a greater possibility than perhaps in many years past. But state of mind is important also when fighting cancer.
I think one needs to be positive, okay? Because if your mind is not correct, then you're not going to get anywhere. It's just going to take longer to recover. So I know it's hard to say, but if a person can be positive and they've got the right support around them, people that love and care for them, that can help them, and a great strong God behind them, what more, So it is a trial, but...
Well, our very own Paul Lafferty, host of the show, is himself a cancer survivor now. He's in remission. He garnered great support from the racing industry. And one thing about the horse racing industry is that despite all of the differences we may have on a day-to-day basis, when there is a need, the sport of horse racing really, really comes together in support of their own. And we are delighted as Gold Circle, and obviously I'll make special reference in a moment to all of our fabulous sponsors, to be a part of this. This, I think, is our third Pink Drive charity race meeting. From your perspective, is it an important event on the fundraising calendar?
Well, I can tell you from Durban's point of view, it is my most important event. We put a lot of time and effort into this race, and to try and make it as pleasant and as entertaining as we can for everybody that comes.
So talking about, as I said previously, there's no harm in having a bit of fun while raising much needed money for charities such as yourself who penetrate the market, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But what can we look forward to on Friday night from an entertainment perspective, quite apart from the serious business of fundraising and supporting Pink Drive?
Well, we've got Durban Girls High Drummies that are going to come and play twice for us, I think, on the evening. We've got the Natal Mounted Rifles, that's going to be the Pipers, which is brilliant. I love Pipers. And then, of course, we've got our very own KZN Kate Fink that's going to be singing for us on the evening.
So quite apart from the 9-race program, which races are going to go off at 30-minute intervals, so it's going to be a fun-filled, action-packed evening with entertainment on the turf track while we race on the poly track. So it's certainly a family night out. So don't, if you're watching the show and if you've read about it, Greyville on Friday night is the place to be with the entire family, with lots of entertainment to look forward to. But now, obviously, this is about getting out into the areas where people do not have access to perhaps the kind of treatment or diagnosis that you offer. You were saying to me, and it's a bit worrying, that KZN is very thin on the ground.
It's very bad here in KZN. There are no doctors at Addington. The waiting list is, I mean, you can only get seen to next year. And if it's serious, you've got to go up to Maritzburg or Johannesburg. But Pink Drive did offer to bring our trucks down to help on the backlog with the mammograms. And all we asked for was the petrol money and accommodation for the staff. That's all we asked for, and we haven't had a response.
So where are you most active? I mean, Pink Drive is a national organisation. We are supporting Pink Drive as Gold Circle and our sponsors as a national operation. Obviously, we will try to open as many doors for you in KZN to make what you offer the community far more viable and effective. But what does Pink Drive actually do?
Well, right now we're busy with an outreach in Cape Town where we're doing free mammograms, free pap smears, free PSA, free breast examinations, education and everything. They're driving all the way around through Cape Town doing this for free.
And other parts of the country?
Well, they do it in Joburg and Pretoria as well, and we've got one planned hopefully for next month.
So the funds raised through the year are predominantly used for very expensive equipment such as the trucks and obviously all of the technological equipment that is installed in these trucks. Yes. How big is the fleet and what do these trucks look like? I know that we're going to have a couple on display here.
We have got, well, the truck is very big, okay? The one section of it has got where you do the pap smears, then there's a little reception area, and then there's the mammogram where that gets done. So the trucks are fairly large. We've got 3 of them. They cost between 10 and 12 million rand a year to run each. It's very expensive to run those trucks. So all the money we get, we try and put back into the trucks.
So, and fundraising in the current economic climate, I know South Africa and South African citizens are going through some tough times. I guess you rely heavily on corporates, but fundraising is ever more difficult.
It is, but because Pink Drive is such a beloved community and we are so visible, I mean, you see us everywhere. You see us at a sport, well, Gold Circle, you'll see us here, but you see us at the Pick and Pay Women's Walk, Total Sports Walks, all these big walks.
And a whole host of sporting bodies have come on board, cricket, rugby, etc. too.
Everybody, yeah.
So the awareness is there.
The awareness is there, yeah.
Is the money coming in?
It's not coming in as much as it has in previous years, but the minute you mention Pink Drive, because it's so well known and so visible, people don't mind giving you money because they know it's going to where we say it's going.
Now tell me, you've got a sister organisation, if you like, which looks after the men.
More balls than most.
More balls than most. Now, what is the colour scheme of more balls than most?
Okay, more balls than most obviously is for the men. It's for prostate and testicular cancer, and it's just a prick in the finger. Okay, so and it's done. It's like a diabetic test. So they do the prick, and within a minute or 2, you get your results. So it will pick up anything that shouldn't be there, any infection or could be cancer, and then once we pick it up we give a referral letter and then that person can go and have it seen to further investigated.
Cancer in young people, apart from Paul Lafferty, who's a very high profile racing person, Alistair Cohen, who's a top-notch commentator and presenter, young man in his 20s that is very well known in racing circles. He, in fact, is now also in remission. He went through a torrid time over the last year or so. it highlighted for me the need for men to accept that they also need to be one step ahead. I think cancer, if I'm correct, the earlier you catch it, the better. So what should we all be doing, men and women, on a regular basis to try and catch it early? Because you always hear that if you catch cancer early, you've got a chance of recovery.
That's the truth, okay? Early detection saves lives. That's what Pink Drive is all about. If you are a woman, you need to do your breast examination yourself once a month, 7 days after your period. Sorry, but that's how it's done. And then once a year, you need to go and have it professionally done. If you are over the age of 40, you need to go for your mammograms. It is so important. And a lot of women get a bit scared to go and have it done because they think what they're going to go through. But if we can catch it when it's so big, it might not be like what I had to go through. I didn't have Pink Drive in my day in 2010. I think Pink Drive had opened in 2009. I didn't really know too much about Pink Drive that I could phone them and ask them and get free advice. So if a person can just know their body, I mean, you will know if there's something there that shouldn't be there. And the same as men, the men need to get themselves tested. And I know it's difficult for them. That's why it's nice to have this little test done first. And if it does pick up anything, then you go to a doctor and have your blood tests and the other exam done.
So the trucks that we referred to earlier are almost like, well, not almost, they are mobile hospitals.
Yeah.
Diagnosis hospitals. You don't treat people, but you diagnose people.
Yes.
And offer them advice and a way forward for members of all communities, rich and poor, and those that are out in the rural areas, etc. I guess being aware of cancer and the danger of cancer is a year-round thing, but October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Why October?
I'm not sure why October was chosen, but someone chose October, and it's hectic at Pink Drive at the moment. We've got events every single day, which we're not complaining about because it's bringing money in for our trucks. It's also, people are aware, they all know that October they must wear pink, they must get their pink ribbons, they must go and get themselves seen to. So even if they're doing it once a year, they will do it in October.
Well, October it is, and as a consequence of the fact that it is October, even though we may not be quite sure why October was chosen, that means the last Friday of October annually is the Pink Drive charity race meeting at Greyville. And although we've acknowledged our sponsors on various platforms, I do need to take this opportunity to thank them all again for coming on board. Johnson's Workwear, Drakenstein Stud, Fassfontein Stud, new sponsors, Highlands Farm Stud, part of Ridgemont, Investec, always there, ready to come to the party, HollywoodBets.net, World Sports Betting, and of course Gold Circle, with some contribution also from Klavervlei Stud. So to all of our sponsors out there, this day couldn't happen without you guys, and at your request also, 80%, Janice, of the funds that we're raising on Friday night are going directly to Pink Drive without any deductions. But we're also taking the opportunity to support our own charity, and 20% of the funds raised will go to the Coastal Horse Care Unit. So it's a multiple approach. We look after our own, but we're also looking after the communities in general. So are we looking forward to Friday night?
I'm so looking forward to Friday night, and I would also like to take the time on behalf of the entire Pink Drive team of thanking all our sponsors that are making this event possible, and to everybody that comes. All I can say is a very big thank you so much.
Well, there you have it from Janice. Friday night at Greyville. You're coming racing. Make sure that you get into the spirit of the evening. Come wearing pink. We've got prizes to give away to the best dressed couples, individuals, etc. So there's lots of prizes to be won. There's lots of entertainment for the kids. The Bri Zone, the Lightning Shot Bar. Kate Vink will be entertaining us. We've got drum majorettes. We've got pipe bands. It's going to be a festive evening of top quality racing, great entertainment, but most of all, supporting a very, very worthy cause.
Whoever said winning isn't everything never had to fight cancer. South Africa's sporting community has embraced the challenge, and once again, the sport of horse racing adds its voice. On Friday night, 27th October, Greyville Racecourse goes pink in support of breast cancer awareness. All funds raised will go towards building Pink Drive's mobile mammogram and educational units. When you're helping to fight cancer, winning is everything. The Pink Drive Race Meeting, Friday night, 27 October.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.